Okay, before we get to what Martha said, there's a lot to go over. I know a lot of you think you know what's going on because you've been watching my TikTok, but let me tell you, you don't know the whole story. But tonight, I'm going to tell you. So make sure you stick around for never before seen footage that you'll definitely want to see. Also, you know the drill, it's time to pick out my favorite subscriber comments from the last video. Here they are. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to officially be part of the J Squad. That way, I can pick out my favorite comments and post them on the next video. And as another perk for being part of the J Squad, I'm offering a special discount. Just tap the link in the description to get your special coupon code today. Okay, now let's get to it. It all began about 2 weeks ago when I was hiking my normal Sunset Trail. I started to hear noises in the trail, something that definitely didn't sound like a man and definitely didn't sound like an animal. On my way down from the trail, I had this weird feeling in my gut. I couldn't pinpoint it, but it felt like this awful guilt. I don't know where that sensation came from, but on my way down, I saw this white pair of eyes staring at me between some trees. Take a look for yourself. So I ran home and I locked all my doors and windows. Once I caught my breath, I remembered a childhood urban legend that I had tried to erase. It was called the Indigo Man. I did some research online and found out that some people believe that it's much more than an urban legend. Some people claim to have seen it and have drawn pictures of it. Just check out some of these artist sketches. They give me the creeps. Just look at those eyes. That was definitely him, staring at me in the woods. Okay guys, it's time for some never before seen footage. This drawing was never shown on my video, but I found it on the website. Take a look. It was in that moment I was looking up all of the stuff about the Indigo Man that I heard this demonic wailing coming from outside my window. It definitely was not human. It sounded like whatever was on the trail. I looked through my blinds and saw this hand coming around a tree. Just take a look for yourself. The fingers were definitely not normal. Look how long they are. What is that? Alright guys, time for some more never before seen footage. Here's some more footage of the hand that I didn't show on TikTok. That's when I found the poem. Beware, beware, the Indigo Man, wherever the sun sets. Keep clear your mind of all despair, especially regrets. And if you hear a wailing cry when no one is around, keep straight your gaze with steady feet and only look down. Just saying it out loud still gives me the creeps. It's something that I tried to bury with my childhood, but it's coming back to haunt me. That's when I realized there was something on my boot. I had carried something home from my hike. It was this pink bow. I didn't think much of it at first, but I kept reading online. That's when I got to the part about his daughter. Legend has it that the Indigo Man had a daughter that got lost in the woods, and that he went searching for her, but never came back. I figured if that bow belonged to the daughter and I took it out of the woods, I should return it right away, and that's what I did. When I got there, I didn't see any sign of the Indigo Man. I figured that must be a good sign, and I headed home. But that night when I went to bed, I was woken up again by that wailing. Only this time, it was much louder. Inside my house. When I looked up at the door frame, this is what I saw. Look familiar? Compare it to the never before seen drawing. Almost identical. So of course, after that, I couldn't sleep. And what's the cure for some good heebie-jeebies? The Office. So I took my place on the couch with Cooper and we watched The Office, but then my door started opening by itself. Or so I thought. When I looked down, I saw why it was opening. Take a look. That hand was back inside my house. He was not going away. He was obviously trying to communicate. So I got out my spirit board. Just take a look at what it spelled. That's right. Sorry. Why is he sorry? Who is he talking to? Is he saying that to me? I'm so confused. Right after it spelled sorry, the planchette flew off the table. I figured that was enough for tonight, and that whatever was trying to communicate was done. But on my way to bed, all the doors in my house slammed shut, and my lights surged to this crazy brightness that I've never seen before. I could hear this ringing. I couldn't tell if it was in my head or if it was in my apartment. That's when my office door swung open and a bunch of papers flew out. It was inside one of those papers, I found the bow that I had taken back to the woods. And on the crumpled piece of paper was an address, 1331 Hazel Avenue. You know I couldn't give up now. So I grabbed my coat and I headed to the address. It led to this really weird building. It was definitely abandoned and had been for a long time. But when I got inside, there was this one red light on that lit up the entire place. It must have been under construction or some kind of building was going on, because when I got in, I swore I heard hammering. That's when I saw the shadow. He wasn't behind the drop cloth, but I did find this backpack. Inside, I found all this random camping stuff, but the most peculiar find was this book. I could tell that it was old just from looking at it, but when I opened it up, I knew I found something. Inside was a library slip, and there was a name on the bottom, but why did it stand out? Because it said Miss Betty Tolmer, written in adult handwriting. It looks like somebody checked this out for a young girl and was reading it to her. So of course I hopped online and researched the name I found in the book, Betty Tolmer, but nothing came up. That's when my screen shut off on my computer and I saw those white eyes in the reflection. After I saged my house, I did some more research and didn't find anything on the name, so I figured I would go to bed, but was soon woken up by more wailing, this time inside my room. At first, I thought it was a nightmare. I saw the shadowy, translucent figure rise up at the foot of my bed, and I almost screamed. I couldn't breathe. I just stared at it. Its head started popping and twisting in weird ways, and its hands moved in directions it definitely shouldn't have. But I had had enough, and I finally sat up in my bed and screamed, "What do you want?" And that's when the shadowy figure crumbled down into a mound of dirt. It looked like he was weeping at his own feet. I felt bad for him, or whatever it was, so I crawled over to it and I asked again, more calm this time. Then I saw the shadowy figure start to rise, and at the same time it started to fade away, and before I knew it, it was gone. The energy was much more calm, and you could tell there was something he was definitely trying to say. So I got up my spirit board again, and this time it spelled Betty. I figured it must have been his daughter, and that maybe she died too and that he was trying to reach her somehow. I needed to know the answers. Right after I saw the name on the board, there was pounding at my door again. When I opened it, no one was there, just this teddy bear. By the looks of it, it must have been over 50 years old. It was decrepit and it smelled awful, but I noticed the bear also had a pink bow. At this point, I had no idea what to do, so I went to my witch neighbor for some help. She told me she had just the thing. She let me borrow her oracle necklace, and she said to use in conjunction with my spirit board. That's when the board spelled a completely different name, Martha Kenny. I put in that name along with my zip code, and I found out that she was still alive. So of course, I paid her a little visit. The first time didn't go so well. Just take a look for yourself.
Martha Kenny? I was wondering if I could ask you some questions about your dad.
She slammed the door right on my face, but I had an idea. The next time, I came back with the bear and the book, and once she recognized the dirty, beat-up teddy bear, her tone softened, and she invited me in her house. And here's the moment you've all been waiting for. My conversation with Martha Kenny. Take a look. So, thank you so much for meeting with me. I know it's kind of crazy.
I don't let strangers in my house.
I know.
I don't see a lot of people.
It's okay. I just wanted to come and explain what happened and see if you can maybe offer any kind of information.
Well, like what?
Okay, so I found this book and it had your name in it. Does this look familiar to you?
I'm not sure.
Is that yours?
Okay. Oh my God. My father read to me out of this book. Oh my God.
Can you tell me anything more about him?
He worked a lot. Remember old Hollywood? I'm sure you've heard of it. You're so young. I think that's why they named me Betty.
Betty, was it Betty Davis?
Betty Grable, Betty Davis, Betty. Oh, there were so many Bettys. I always felt my dad made me feel like a movie star.
Oh.
What did you see this?
Is that him?
Yes. You see the bow?
Mm-hmm.
I have a matching bow to my teddy bear. My teddy bear used to have a bow. Amazing.
Is this the bow?
Where did you find this?
This is gonna sound crazy, okay? You're probably not gonna believe me, but I was hiking in the woods near Hazel Avenue, and I saw these eyes in the forest, and so I got all spooked, but then when I got home, that was stuck to my shoe. I must have stepped on the bow outside. So I put the bow back where I found it, and then it showed up again in my house. It was in this paper. Can I show you the paper?
Yes.
I found the bow inside of this. It was crumpled up inside this paper.
You found this?
Yeah, in my house.
My father worked for hours and hours. When he'd come home, I'd be asleep. But there's something, this is just like what he did. He wrote a lot of sense. And he talked about all the beautiful stars he met. And this is what gets me. This address. He worked at Hazel Studios.
Your father worked at Hazel Studios?
Yes.
You worked in that building?
Yes.
I went into that old building. I went in there. And that's where I found all this stuff.
Oh my God.
Do you know the legend behind your dad?
A legend?
Yeah.
My father, he worked so much. He just spent all his time working. He was so sweet to me. He brought me my teddy. He read to me when he could, but he promised me something he never was able to keep. He was going to take me hiking in the woods, and we were going to sleep under the stars, surrounded by beautiful trees. He never did that. But I decided I'd go on my own. Yes, I packed my teddy bear and my book. This book, I couldn't read the way he could read, but I had the book, and I went into the woods.
You went into the woods alone?
By myself.
As a little girl?
I don't know why I'm telling you all this.
No, please.
Except you've brought me a little bit of my own childhood.
Please keep going. If it's all right with you, I'd really like to know. I mean, this has been haunting me too for the last few weeks, and I would love to get some closure on it. So anything you can tell me, I'd love to know, please. What happened after you went in the woods?
Everybody came looking for me. It was overwhelming. I talked to my teddy bear. I was a little afraid when I saw shadows, but Teddy said I was fine. He's so dirty. But he's still my little Teddy. Well, all those people came looking, and they had lights, and it was terrible. And they asked me questions, and they wanted to know where my father was.
Where was he?
My father never came back. I don't know. I guess he died. Nobody ever talked about it, but he never, ever came back.
I'm so sorry.
What do you mean? You know stuff about my father?
Well, I don't know if any of it's true. I only read it online. But there's a legend. It says that whenever the sun sets and the sky turns indigo, there's this creature that comes out of the woods, the same woods that you went into as a child. He haunts people now, and apparently he's a spirit. I don't know if it's true or not. I've seen his eyes, and the legend says that he has a daughter. And when I found the book, it had your name in it. I had my friends help me find you because I wasn't able to find anybody named Betty Tomer.
I changed my name.
Why did you change
Because
it?
they were haunting me.
Who?
All these people. I mean, I don't know. They just, that's why I don't want to be around people. I always lose the people I love. I'm better off without anybody.
I don't want you to be alone. I want you to be with your father again. Look, there's been a lot going on with the last couple weeks, and he's been haunting me, and he's been trying to tell me something. He spelled out Betty on my spirit board. He's been showing me your books. He's been showing me your teddy bears. He wants to tell me something. I think your father came to look for you that night. I think that he went looking for you.
You think he's still there?
I think some part of him is still there.
How can that be?
He never found you. They found you before he ever got to you, and then when they went to go look for him, they never found him. That was the police report that I found online.
You think because of me, he died in the woods?
I think he's still looking for you. I don't think he's found you yet, and I think that's why he's trying to talk to me. I think I'm supposed to bring you back together.
Oh my, what do we have to do?
I think we just have to let him know that we're here now. You just have to tell him.
You want me to go back to those woods?
No, just tell the bear. Tell him you're okay and that you don't need him to find you anymore, and he can watch over you now.
Okay, I'm okay. Please tell him he can rest now. I can't stand to think he's still looking for me. You make it all right. You always made it all right for me. It's been a very long time. I think. Oh!
Oh my God, did you see that?
I did.
Oh my God, that's a sign.
Do you suppose?
Absolutely. I think he's here. I think he's absolutely here, and I think he's gonna watch over you now. I don't think he's gonna look for you anymore. I don't think he's gonna haunt anyone else. I think he's here.
You think he'll rest?
Yes, I think he'll finally rest. Thanks to you.
Excuse me, but thanks to you.
No,
Yes.
thank you for inviting me into your home. It's been so nice, so lovely to meet you.
I can't believe what's happened. You've actually brought some closure.
I'm so glad.
It's gonna be all right.
Can I give you a hug?
Oh, gosh. Oh,
Thank you.
thank you.
I'll come back and I'll visit you another time, okay? To check in on you?
Yes.
Okay.
I was absolutely blown away. Everything I learned, it made total sense. Right down to the paper that her bow was crumpled up. So I guess after she decided to take the camping trip by herself in the woods, he went in to look for her, but he never came out. Only the next day, she did. He must have been so consumed by grief that the forest took him, and he never left. Not even a spirit. I've been working a lot lately too, and I think the reason why he latched onto me is because I felt guilty for not spending more time with my loved ones. It's important to find that balance between work and life, so I'm taking this opportunity to do just that. Make sure you take this opportunity to do it as well, whether it's picking up the phone or giving your dog a kiss on the forehead. The littlest gesture can go the longest way. Thanks J Squad for always being there for me. I'm always there for you. Sending my love, over and out.